When last you guys all gathered here on Icewind, Rime, and the Frostmaiden, you had traveled to the town of Goodmead. I'm not going to reiterate all the quests you know, but basically the entire world is locked in ice. It's been that way. Food's running low, supplies are running low. The northern part of the world, north of the spine of the world mountains, has become isolated as the trails and paths that cross the mountains have become near impassable, and the sea of moving ice is basically frozen over now. The people that live in this rugged world and a group of 10 separate towns that are called the 10 Towns are sort of just getting by and surviving. Most of the locals have blamed this on Ariel, the goddess of winter's fury, and nobody knows why she would be doing this, if it is in fact her, or if it is related to her, or if it's something else, but this is what the locals blame it on, and most of the towns are making sacrifices of one sort or another to Ariel. There have been a series of murders that have happened that you have been quested to find the killer. They have all been found with a dagger of ice through their heart, and the Hillen Trollbane, the former adventurer that had been scouting them out, believes that a man by the name of Sefik Keltro is the culprit, following along with a band of merchants called Torgas that was headed up to Bremen through Bryn Shander after leaving East Haven with a series of dead bodies following behind. You learned in East Haven that a bunch of fishermen had gone missing after dragging their boats out on the ice, and food supplies are running low. You also learned of a sea monster in one of the towns, and you have learned about missing ale. The mead from Goodmead had not arrived to the local bars in East Haven, and rumors of giants and raids had been happening. So you went to investigate, and there you found, indeed, in Goodmead, they told you that the speaker of the town had been murdered by a giant-like creature that the locals called a verbeek. His name was Kendrick Reelsbarrow, and he was beaten to death by this thing that then took 3 casks of the honey mead and drug him off to its lair. You followed it to its lair, where you had a little encounter with a woodland creature that gave you a magical charm and rode off on the fox that you rescued from a local trapper, found the bodies that had been beaten to death by the ogre named Friend that it kept, and then slept and made camp in its lair upon return of the beast's wife, or mate, I guess. Guh, who was wife of Doug. You managed to sneak into the back portions of the cave and wait the beast out until she left, seemingly to potentially seek her revenge. You lashed up a bunch of the goats to a broken cart that you fixed, and you have taken the wheeled cart pulled by goats out into the snow. And as you are walking out into the snow, one of you, I can't remember who, noticed the foul air on the wind and potentially a storm brewing. So that's where we find you guys. What are you all doing? Who's in what order? What's happening as you're trying to push these goats pulling a wheeled cart through the snowy woods? And I will set the mood here. What is everyone doing? I'll ask in sort of order here. What would Ordella be doing as you're sort of moving these things, trying to move this cart through the snow?
Let's see.
There's no map right now, just
yeah.
Theater of the mind.
Probably just trying to like make sure it makes it through, depending on how thick the snow is, trying to help push it along. Because we just got goats pulling it. Yeah.
In the back, sort of pushing the cart, walking alongside pushing.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you guys? What is Cadillac doing?
So when we left, I grabbed sort of a fistful of hay, and I'm sort of walking in front of them, sort of carrot sticking them along, trying to goad their enthusiasm a bit.
Yeah, you're making some progress. It's rather slow going, but you're able to very slowly sort of make the cart move through the woods. What would Toot be doing?
I think he flexes and then he helps Ordella push.
So Toot and Ordella are in the back pushing. Yep. Granite Guts is like trying to tempt the goats along with hay. What about Harkus?
I'm just walking alongside.
Just walking alongside
toward the front of the cart.
Okay.
Sort of.
And Leonard, what about you?
I feel like.
Oh, I need to make a correction. Leonard, I have read over the Artificer rules intently.
Oh, thank God somebody understands it.
Yeah, so here's the deal. When you make an infusion, you're basically like pouring your essence into that infusion. Okay, so you can only have the number of infusions active that are on your table at a time. Two, period.
Yeah.
So you can have the I warm everything up and the moon spear, but not another one. If you try to make a third one, the oldest one then automatically disappears.
Okay, so they only last for 3 days if I don't redistribute.
No, if you die, no, they last as long as you keep them, but you can only have 2 active at a time.
Okay.
When you level up, you can keep more active at a time.
I got you. Awesome.
So like you can change them every 24 hours when you take a rest. You can say like, okay, your spear is your sword is no longer a Moongleam sword. I'm going to put that infusion into some other common magical item that I'm making. But you can only have 2 of those things active at once.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to stick with the ball of fire.
Okay.
And the Moongleam sword.
Okay, then you don't have any others. That's all you got.
Right. So, John, your spell Cantrell, your spell
Tattoo's
rot
gone.
one of the 7 Johns. The spell rot tattoo is no more.
Yeah, but it can be if you choose at 24 hours to like drop the sword or something and then make the next one. You could definitely do that. And you can make any common magical item. Now, the Moongleam sword is actually from content from Matt Mercer's campaign. Setting.
I just picked what D&D Beyond would let me.
No, but it's totally fine. I'm like cool with that. So it'll allow you to do any common magical item. I was like, where is this? I couldn't find it. I was like, what is this thing?
Well, I will probably eventually understand Artificer because I think the class is so friggin' cool that I don't know that I'm going to play anything else ever again.
No, it's super. It's very, very cool. And I had to sit down and go like, okay, this is way OP. I need to understand this. And yeah, so it makes sense now. It's not as OP as it seemed like it should be. You can basically have 2 infused items right now. 4 infusions. So one of your 4 infusions then that you have is obviously the one where you can make a common magical item. What are your other 3? You have replicate magic item.
So I have
3 others.
I have a bunch of replicate magic items. So my understanding is each replicate magic item you have to select, you have to declare the item that selection represents. If you'll let me pick one and just change it all the time, I'll take it. I'm not going to fight that one.
It depends on your level, what you're able to do.
So the way it let me pick, when I clicked replicate magic item in D&D Beyond, it made me at that point select the item. And then if I wanted to get a second item, I had to pick replicate magic item again and assign it to a different item.
And that was a separate one of your 4 infusions, did you know?
So
okay, okay, I think that's fair because that limits it even a little bit further.
So 3 of them are replicate magic item: the Moongleam sword, the spell rot tattoo, and the heating stone of thermal goodness.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the other one is a +1 spellcasting focus.
Okay, that sounds fair. What I would also further say is, if you read the Eberron book that has the Artificer in it, they have clarified the replicate magic item that says you can either replicate any of the things that are on the table for 2nd level Artificer or any common magical item. They put out a clarification, but it has to be a common magical item.
The list was really long, and the list of 6th level and 10th, I mean, it's a lot of really cool stuff that Artificer can do.
Yeah, but it has to be on your table or a common magical item. Okay, so what are you doing?
Okay, so I am, because I have my cube of thermal goodness, I'm sort of, are these goats struggling?
So it's radiating, what, 95 degrees?
Yes.
Dude, so it's radiating body temperature. This is not, like, you are 98 degrees. Like, human flesh is 98 degrees. You're not like a furnace here.
Right, but I mean, are they struggling with pulling the cart?
Yeah. It's
okay,
slow going.
I'm gonna help push. I was debating as to whether it would make more sense for me to push or pull. I was gonna hop on and ride, but if they're struggling, I weigh like 600 pounds. It's probably not the greatest idea. So I'll help push.
All right, so you're back behind pushing. There's no more room for anybody else pushing. Yatara, what are you doing?
I'm on the side of the cart.
Okay.
I'm walking alongside of it, but also kind of looking over my shoulder. I'm uneasy with the setting that we're in. Just looking around, looking for things.
Absolutely. So what I've got is Granite Guts is in the front. I've got Yatara on one side, Harkus on the other, and I've got Ordella, Toot, and Leonard sort of in the back that are kind of helping push the cart. Okay, I need everybody to go ahead, all of you together, go ahead and roll survival checks. Nice, too.
Let me find my character. I was trying to claim my copy of the Mines of Phandelver.
Ew.
Characters. Leonard.
If you've ever played the Mines of Phandelver, I ran it for Cantrell and his kids. It's a super fun little adventure.
Okay. Survival.
Okay. All right. As you guys are all walking, the wind really begins to pick up, and the skies darken an awful lot, and it just starts getting colder and colder, and all of you start having more and more trouble seeing anything in front of you. Toot, you have your hand firmly planted on the cart. You are walking and pushing this cart, and just have a real good firm grip on the back of it. Cadillac, you have you sort of have the goats by the reins with or by the rope that you put around them with your like hay in the front, and have a good solid grip on it. Leonard and Harkus, you're sort of pretty close to the cart itself. Leonard, Ordella, and Yatara, as the wind starts to really pick up, you guys really can't see like anything in front of you. In fact, for our poor Ordella, who crit failed the survival check, Ordella, you have lost track of the cart.
Oops. I thought I had my hand on it.
Yeah, you took your hand off of it for just like a brief second with that crit fail roll. And I don't know, you heard something, you turned your head a little bit, and as you turn back in the snow that is now blinding and has clearly become basically a blizzard around you, you can't feel the cart or see the cart anymore at all. What do you do?
Can I see anyone in my group?
All you can see is blinding snow around you.
Joy. I call out and see if anyone can hear me.
Okay. All right. You yell out, and you hear nothing but howling wind.
Joy. I start moving forward, I guess, in the same direction I was going, or at least hope I am.
Okay. You start moving forward. Roll me survival again. As you're trying to pick your way through the snow.
Ooh.
Ordella, as you're moving forward, you can't see hardly anything, but you run into something and you almost trip yourself as you hit something like firm and like a rock-like structure in front of yourself. And I'm going to take you all to where Ordella is and has found herself by herself in just a moment. Ordella, the snow is just blinding around you, and you find yourself here, basically by yourself, up against some sort of rocky outcropping.
Joy. All right. Guess I'll take cover and hope the wind dies down a little bit. Is there...
The rocks sort of follow along, and as you sort of pick your way along there, you notice there is what looks like a sort of an opening in the rocky structure there.
Looks like a good place to die.
Yes, are you looking into the cave that you've come across?
Yes, I'm just gonna sit in the mouth of the cave, trying to get out of the wind.
Okay. You sit into the mouth of the cave, and are you hollering out for any of your crew, or are you just sort of being quiet?
Just sitting there being quiet.
Okay. Roll perception.
Ooh. Well, that works.
You hear movement behind you and a very low growl.
All right. I am getting out of the cave.
Are you turning and looking?
Sure, I'll turn and look.
Or are you just like, nope, and getting up and moving?
I will look as I'm getting up and moving.
As you get up and look, you see a pair of, looks like eye shine of some sort of animal type creature staring directly back at you as you start to back outwards. And the thing that catches your eyes is that it seems to have slit-like eyes. Let me flash back to the rest of the crew. Leonard, you find yourself similarly separated from the rest of the party. You're in the driving, blinding snow by yourself. And what do you do as you find yourself separated?
You're on mute.
So I lost my hold on the wagon and I have sort of wandered off.
Yeah, you've sort of it became basically visibility 0. And with a survival check of 11, you've lost your hold on the wagon and have become separated. You don't know how far away they are, but you know that you're not with them anymore.
Can I see anything? Does my 95-degree thermal radius provide any tangible benefit to identifying surroundings?
Roll me perception.
Okay, let's roll perception. No whammy. That's a whammy. All right.
You don't see anything other than like blinding snow around you.
You know, Leonard has no idea what to do in a survival situation. So he's not going to spin around. He's going to keep his feet planted and try to trudge forward in the direction that he has been trudging.
Okay. As you trudge forward, Leonard, you run smack into some sort of hard structure that you are certain is also some sort of rocky outcropping. I'm going to take you to where you are, Leonard. Blinding snow sort of around you, and you have run into some sort of rocky outcropping.
Okay, which one of me am I?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Just, this is more of a don't worry about measurements here, don't worry about distances. This is more of an aid for the, this is an aid for the theater of the mind than it is
So
like measure the distances.
I'm going to move along the edge here.
Mm-hmm. Are you going north or south, left or right?
North along the edge of the rock so that I have one landmark that I know.
Okay.
And what I'm looking for is any evidence of the path or the trail.
Roll me survival again. You can't pick up the path of the trail. The snow is blinding too much. But you can tell that this is some sort of larger structure that seems to track along as you head towards that direction. Are you just following it along?
I'm going to follow it along and keep it like on my right side.
Okay.
And if I find a good spot to shelter from the blizzard, I may hunker down there. But right now it seems like it's just rock wall.
Gotcha. Yatara, you two separately, with a 15 survival check, although much better than the other two, have sort of become separated from the party. You were walking along, and you're not certain if you were kind of looking over your shoulder looking for something. You're not sure if you veered off to the right or to the left. But you have become blindingly separated from the rest of the party, surrounded by snow in this driving blizzard by yourself.
I'm going to look around for, again, signs of track or anything, or fallen hay, to try to determine where the track is.
Just sort of trying to look and see where they're at. Roll me survival again. You don't see any. Oh, crit 24. Holy crap. Yatar, you don't see any tracks necessarily, but with a critical success survival, you're able to see your tracks backwards. And you can tell that you veered off to the south from the rest of the party. And you see very clearly surrounding you an interesting sight. Just sort of looking around, you can see through the blinding snow a extremely large tree. Surrounded by what looks like standing stones. And you can tell you veered off to the south from the rest of the group, and I'm going to take you there. Take everybody there. So you know, based on your footprints in the snow, looking back, you say, okay, I must have veered off to the south. They're further north than I am. You very clearly see this strange, very, very large tree surrounded by standing stones in a, opening circle of trees. And you can pick this out with a crit survival check through the blinding snow. But you don't hear anybody in your party. Nobody, you've all become separated. Maybe it's been too early for anyone to sort of start calling for help or anything like that. But that's where you are, what you see.
If I can see my footprints and I know which general direction I've gone, I'm actually going to go investigate the tree and the standing stone.
Yeah, you're able to see the general direction you're coming from.
Okay.
How are you investigating the stones? What are you doing?
I want to go look at the stones first to see if there's any inscriptions or anything.
Roll me Arcana. Let's see. The stones have some sort of markings on them. You can tell that they are druidic in nature. This is some sort of druid circle thing. But with that Arcana check, you can't make out what the druids were. You're not a druid yourself. You're not a nature worshiper, so you can't really make out exactly like what was happening here, but yeah, druids.
Yeah, I think
That's
at
what
this
you
point,
get.
it's like I can't make out anything else on the stones. I'm going to go back and try to rejoin the group.
Yeah, nothing on the stones. Some sort of druidic worshipfulness. Yeah, and then the tree, they seem to be sort of like indicating worship of the tree or something like that, but you're not. With that arcana, you're not 100% positive. Maybe it's a grave, maybe, who knows. So you're going to try to like pick your way backwards?
Yeah, I'm going to make my way back to the group.
Okay.
To not get separated even further.
Yeah. I'm going to use your survival check to be able to say you can basically do that, but it's going to take just a minute of time before you can make your way back. Okay. The rest of the group manages to stay, I think, with the cart. Let me get the cart here real quick. Apologize. I gotta get because you have casks with your goat cart. I wouldn't have predicted casks with a goat cart, but you know, who am I to judge? All right. So the rest of the group manages to stay with the cart, and that would be hang on. Make sure I got everybody. That's Harkus and Toot and Cadillac. And I'm going to cut back to you guys. Harkus to the side, Toot on the back, who had a firm hand on the cart, Cadillac in the front leading the goats. And you guys are here. All right, the three of you, we'll cut to you guys, find yourselves separated from everyone else, and the three of you, I think, realize that Yatara and Ordella and Leonard have become separated from you somehow. Snow is blinding around you, just an absolute blizzard. What do the three of you do?
I think that. Go ahead.
I'm gonna, given that sort of my profession is to guide people, I'm gonna try to sort of move us into what looks like sort of a little protected spot, kind of over in this area, in that sort of upper corner.
Okay.
Right, where we can sort of take shelter in between some of the trees and see if this kind of blows.
So moving the cart over here.
Yeah.
Okay. You're able to do that. You sort of guide them over there. What about you, Granite Guts and Toot? You realize that members of your party have become separated.
I'm going to wheel around and see if I can tell anything in the snow about where they would have wandered off to.
Okay. Roll me again survival.
Okay.
Not bad. You can see two sets of tracks heading northward that have sort of veered off from the back of the cart. One set of tracks heading southward that have veered off from the cart.
Okay, I'm gonna share this, and then I am going to try to take the southward path. Try to find my wayward comrades.
So you're gonna go for the one. You're gonna go for the one instead of the two.
I'm gonna go for the one instead of the two, and then I'm gonna leave it up to others to maybe do the other path.
Okay. Toot, what are you doing as you sort of have this realization?
Okay, so this cart is larger than 10 by 10, correct?
Sure.
Okay.
10 feet by 10 feet. I don't know that it's 100 square foot cart. It's big enough to hold the casks. We'll say it's I don't know. Yeah, it's close to that. I'm not going to rules lawyer you on something you're trying to do.
These goats are getting more impressive by the minute.
Yeah. I don't know that it's quite 100 square foot cart, but
yeah. So if it's less than 10 by 10, I'm going to, and I don't think anybody can hear me, but I'll tell a joke. You don't know what it is because you can't hear me.
Yep.
And I'm going to cast light on it to try to create a beacon in this mess that hopefully beam and make it a little bit easier for us to get back to it if we venture away from this.
Yeah.
Light is good for an hour.
It lights up super bright. Okay. I need to really quickly cut back to Ordella. Ordella.
Yes.
You see the shine of eyes.
Yes.
And then you see the shine of another pair of eyes.
Oh, joy.
And the shine of another pair of eyes.
Ah.
And as you're backing up, 3 very large. All right, you've backed up, say, to maybe here as you're sort of backing out of there. 3 very large cat-like creatures emerge from this cave, one after the other.
And this is how I die.
And growl and all snarl at you.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll initiative. All right, I did not get you in, but I'm going to now. All right, there you go. 18. Oh, they don't have their thing set, darn it. I gotta open each one individually.
Yeah.
If only. As 3 crag cats emerge. Ordella, the initiative is yours.
All right. I'm going to...
Are you doing anything to alert your party as to your current situation?
Is there any chance they'll hear me in the blistering wind?
I don't know. Depends on what you're going to do.
Well, I can call out for help.
Okay. How did you just scream for help?
Yeah.
Okay. Leonard, roll me perception.
You're still muted.
I was going to say, just don't fail this roll. Leonard, with a crit perception roll, you hear very distinctly the sound of Ordella let out a... What do you say, Ordella?
Somebody come help me. I'm over here and there's some big scary cats.
I don't think you get that whole sentence out. So what one like curse word or whatever do you shout out?
Just help.
Just help. You hear the orcish voice of Ordella scream out, help! Coming from basically along the pathway that you are feeling yourself down.
Okay, is it the way I'm going or behind me?
Yep, it's the way you're going.
Okay, then I'm going to run that way.
Okay. You take off running. Ordella, the initiative is yours.
Okay, I'm going to... Let's see. Take my great axe and attack the first cat.
11 is a miss.
Of course it is.
Cat 1 attacks at you and critically misses.
Yes.
Cat 2 attacks at you and an 8.
Nope.
Cat 3 attacks at you, 11.
Nope. Praise Jesus.
Nope. Leonard, as you were sprinting down the corner, you have arrived on this scene and find Ordella besieged by 3 very large cat-like creatures. Leonard, roll initiative.
All right. Robot initiative. 16.
All right. I'm going to flash you to another scene quickly. As picking your way southward, Cadillac Granite Guts, you have run into Yatara coming backwards. And you find yourselves next to a sleigh in the that is sort of partially buried in the snow next to each other. And the very outer rim of that lining of trees looks, it would be to the south. Imagine the scene inverted. The lining of circle of trees should be below you. But so directions, north, south, east, west, aren't really making perfect sense with these drawings. But imagine this to the north here is that circle of trees that Yatara was at. And you have picked your way and found Yatara, who is following his footprints backwards. What do you two do?
I basically I'd say, hey, is everything okay? I came back to try to find you.
And I explained to him the circle of druids-like stones that were circling the tree. I tried my best to explain to him what I saw.
I'm very interested in this, and given that I have no idea that something terrible is happening right now, I'm going to say, hey, take me to the tree. I'd like to see it.
Can we see, at this point, can we see the glow of the cart?
Yes, you're able to see the glow of the cart.
Okay. Then I say let's, since I do not know what's going on as well, then we're going to venture back to the tree.
All right, as you're starting to turn back towards the tree, I'm going to flash the initiative back to Leonard, who just arrived, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to act, Leonard, as you see Ordella being besieged and under attack. So, Leonard, you have the option to do something.
Okay, the something I'm going to do is I am going to move up to this one. And, well, hang on, let me see. No, I'm going to stay back. And I'm going to force throw something in it.
Okay.
Magneto attack, go. All right.
13 saves.
Yeah.
Okay, Ordella, top of the initiative, you're up.
All right.
Leonard, you still have the option to try to get your party somehow.
Oh.
I'm going to remind you, you're next in initiative. You still have the option to try to get help.
I'm gonna yell for help.
Okay. Just shouting.
Just shouting, because I don't know which way help would be coming from. So even if I could throw my 95-degree thermal cube of ultimate power
straight up in the air,
I would likely throw it in the wrong direction. So I'm just gonna yell at the top of my robot lungs.
Okay. Ordella, you're up in initiative.
Yeah, okay. I will attack again. Great axe.
10 is a miss. Leonard. You have initiative. You've yelled at the top of your robot lungs.
All right.
The nearest person to you is Toot. Toot, make a perception check. $16. Toot, you just very faintly catch the sound of Leonard's voice yelling for help.
Okay. I just do this number at Harkus to get his attention.
Barely catch it. You barely catch Leonard yelling, but you can't tell where it came from.
Oh,
You just catch it on the wind that there is a call for help. 16, you know it's there, but you're not sure where. You know Harkus went south.
Do I recognize?
No, I didn't go anywhere.
Oh, no. Okay, you know Granite Guts went south.
Right.
Or veered off that way, but you don't know where exactly Leonard's voice came. I guess Harkus, you're with him too, so you can roll perception as well.
Can I tell anything from the footprints, though?
You know that 2 sets went north, 1 set went south. Harkus, you hear it too as well. You with an 18, the DC was 18. You can hear Leonard very faintly call for help from the north.
Then I'm going to wrap my goat pelt around me and start running north, signaling to.
Okay. If you're doing that, make a survival check. See if you can find your way through
Can I follow him?
Blinding snow. Yeah, you can. Hope he makes a good survival check. He does. He does indeed. Leonard, you're up in initiative.
Okay. I am going to. So I'm going to cast Tasha's Caustic Brew. It is a 30-foot line long, 5-foot wide line.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to do it like here to get as many of them as I can.
You can get 2. I don't see any way that you can get 3 because they're in a triangle.
I just didn't know how, if the 5-foot width would get me like the edge of one and the edge of the other 2.
If you could split the difference here, I think you get 2 of them.
Okay, that's fine. I'll move out of melee range, but
both fail.
Shoot for these 2 if they fail it. They both fail it.
Both fail. Which 2?
All right, this one and this one.
All right. Both of the cats let out sort of like a yelp and hiss, and
all right, 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of their turns, unless they take an action to wash the acid off.
Oh, so they got acid on them. They let out a yelp and a hiss, and it is the crag cat that's not affected its turn, and it's going to claw at Ordella. 16.
Ugh, yes.
The question is Tasha's Caustic Brew a spell?
It takes up a spell slot, so I think so.
Oh, so the crag cats have spell turning. Cat has advantage on saving throws against any spell that targets only the cat, not an area. So targeted an area. Okay, this was an area of effect attack.
Yes.
So yeah, they still take it.
Yeah, 5 they can't turn my line.
5 slashing. No, they can't turn your line. 5 slashing damage. It is one of the crag cats that is affected by the acid, and it is going to try
2d4 acid damage.
It is. It takes 2d4. Go ahead and roll it. Does it take that at the beginning of its turn?
Yes.
So does it take it when it first hits it and at the beginning of its turn?
It's no, I think it's just it doesn't do any damage the turn.
Okay. Then it already took its 6.
Okay.
Earlier. So it's going to try to pounce on you. It leaps over to you, Leonard, pounces on you, and it's going to try to bite you. 22 to hit.
Yep, that'll do it.
Okay. Music going down. Let me turn down the wind, too. Is that better?
Yes, much better.
All right.
Well, I agree. It's a little soft, but it's
9 piercing damage. It's hard to do.
I know.
I'll get it.
Oh, 9 piercing damage.
9 piercing.
9 damage. All right.
Okay. The next crag cat is up, and this one is got acid on him, and he's gonna, I think, try to roll around and get the acid off of him in the snow. So is he allowed to? What's the save? How does he?
He just does it.
All right. So as an action, he's going to roll around and knock the acid off of himself.
Yeah, he just has to elect to sacrifice his action to do that.
Ordella, you're up.
I'm taking my great axe again and slashing and failing.
Yep, that's a big old fail. Leonard, you're up.
All right, I am now out of spells, so I'm going to.
Parkas, you and Toot have arrived on the scene as you're sort of picking your way in. Go ahead and roll initiative as Leonard is dealing with this thing.
I'm going to Ray of Frost at the one nearest me.
All right. Ray of Frost, 17 hits. Ooh, nice. 18 cold damage. Let's see if these things take cold damage. They do.
Yeah, in retrospect, Ray of Frost probably is not the best choice for
against the winter creature. Might not be the best choice of spells to have. Okay, so you rolled a 4 and 2. You can roll initiative as well.
I did. It just didn't go in the tracker. It was a 16.
16.
I didn't have a character to select, so.
Oh, you should be on the board here now.
It's down in the bottom right corner.
Oh, I didn't
Bottom
see
right.
it. I'm sorry. My bad.
That's all good. Cragcat is up next to Ordella, and it's going to claw at you, Ordella. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That's not so bad. 11 slashing, Ordella.
Oh, 11 slashing. Not so bad.
It's not the worst. This one is going to take 2d4 acid damage because it still has the acid on it, Leonard.
Yes. 2d4. 5 again.
Okay. But it claws at you. And misses.
Not going to do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
That wouldn't be prudent. Ordella's looking pretty bad, and this Cragcat comes up and is going to try to bite her. 8.
Nope.
Misses.
Nope.
Ordella. Now, you have second wind and action surge in these things.
I do.
Now.
I was just looking at those, so I'm going to end up probably using one of those. All right. Let me flash.
Ordella, the dice are not favoring you.
They really aren't. Okay,
that is a
then
miss.
I'm going to take my action surge.
And do it again?
Yeah.
Do it again.
I just do it again. Okay.
Yeah, you just have another attack.
Okay.
Hardly.
That's a hit.
Yay.
Now, the one to your left has been damaged by acid. The one to your right has not been damaged. Which one are you swinging at?
Let me go, I guess, the one on the left to be one less can, hopefully.
Okay.
Damage.
18?
Yeah.
Holy crap. That cat looks terrible. It's bleeding out of all of its holes that you just made in it.
Good.
Briefly,
I'm gonna get a second wind too.
In the middle of combat, that's a bonus action, so you can do that.
How do I click that?
On your sheet, it is a hit die, I think.
Okay.
Rolling back to our other party members that are unaware of the death that's going on, we find Cadillac and Yatara at the Standing Stones and Giant Trees. What are you two doing?
So do we hear anything on the wind other than the howling snow?
Roll me perception. You've moved to the south, there to the north. You do not. Yatara, you roll perception. See if you pick it up. Oh, that's Ordella getting 11 hit points back.
Sweet.
15 perception, you do not.
Okay, so I'm investigating the tree.
Roll me investigation.
Oh, goodness.
You see markings around the tree. They look like runic markings that have been carved into the surface of the tree, and the standing stones have runes on them. They look druidic in nature to you. Yatara says they look druidic in nature. What are you doing to investigate? That's what you get just sort of on your initial look. If you're acting to do something more,
So I'm very interested to know if this has anything to do with Sylvanus and the sort of religious order that I'm attuned with, and that I had a vision about that sort of led me to the Icewind Dale to begin with.
Okay, roll religion. Who's Sylvanus?
I didn't pay attention in Sunday school, apparently.
Do you know what you get out of that? You are cold. You're really, really cold as you're sort of looking at this tree. You're not certain. You think maybe?
Okay. Well,
what do you do? You just don't know.
Yeah.
Like what this means is like you just don't get any insight. Okay, like
right.
You don't know. You don't think no, but you don't know.
Okay. Do I glean anything from the stones surrounding the tree itself?
Roll me Arcana. Druids, man. Druids. They make them circles.
Oh. Okay, well.
Are you so things you could do? I'll give you examples of things you could do to like further your investigation. Okay. You could climb the tree. You could dig underneath the tree. You could strike the tree with a blade. You could try to cut a branch off of the tree. You could carve something into the tree. You could see if you can like open anything on the tree, you know, like poke it or stick it, or, you know, like, are you doing anything else other than just looking?
Right. So I am going to, I'll try climbing at a short distance because I'm interested to see what the acorns look like.
Okay.
If I can get one.
It's not an acorn tree.
Okay. Not that kind of tree.
It's a conifer.
Okay.
It has cones. But yes, you can. You as a druid clearly know that these are cone pointy acorns.
I'm a barbarian, not a druid.
Sure. Roll me athletics to climb the tree.
Okay. Oh, athletics, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a 4, probably.
Oh, no. No. You skitter up the top of the tree. You skitter up the top of the tree really easily. And in fact, you're able to see everything much clearer as you get to the top of the tree. And I have 2 Yataras on here for some reason. In fact, roll me perception from the top of the tree. With advantage. Because you have clearer vision. I was going to give you with advantage.
Okay.
That's not me pulling any punches. You can see that there seem to be like lines in the earth that radiate from the stones towards the tree.
Fascinating.
Towards the base of the tree. Underneath the snow.
Okay. I climb back down and can I unearth one of these lines? Or unsnow one of these lines?
Yeah, it looks like sort of as you sort of brush the snow off, it's sort of like carved rock or something that's heading towards the base of the tree. Yatara, what are you doing? I'm going to get back to the battle really quickly here in a second.
I'm also going to go up to the tree and see if any of the symbols that I see on the tree, did any of those match the symbols that we saw from the tribe of the tiger?
Interesting. They do not.
I'm going to keep physically touching the tree around the tree to see if I find anything interesting.
Yeah, roll me. What's the roll here? Roll me like insight, maybe? It's sort of running your hand over the tree.
Yeah.
Ooh. Whoa. It is unnaturally large. In fact, some sort of magical force would have had to have grown a tree this size. Like it's buried on something magical that has like allowed this to happen or something like that. Some sort of magical force made this made this thing. You're certain, because this tree is just like, it's all natural wood, but it is larger than it should be. It's drinking the good water or something. That's what you get. Are you investigating further?
Actually, I'm going to go over. I'm actually going to go over and investigate the stone that leads from the individual ring of stones around to the base of the tree.
They all kind of do. Think like spokes on a wheel.
Yeah, I'm going to go investigate one of those further.
Okay, how so?
I'm going to go uncover one.
Okay.
And also look to see if there's anything magical about the stone itself that connects.
Okay, roll me Arcana. Yeah, you just can't tell if there's anything magical about the stone. Definitely something magical about the tree, or about like what's caused the tree to be as it is. But you can't tell about the stone, and you're not certain about the glyphs unless you have like understand languages. All right, I'm gonna cut back to the battle scene here really quickly, where everybody else is dealing with ongoing cragcat fights. As Harkus, you and Toot are in initiative at this point. And Ordella just did her thing, so it is Cragcat's turn. The Cragcat is going to claw at you, Ordella. Does a 12 hit you?
No.
No. All right, so Leonard and Toot have the same initiative, so whoever between the two of you has the higher dex is up next.
All right, Leonard's dex is 13.
My dex is 16.
So Toot, you're up.
Okay. So
Toot has arrived.
you're ways away from
this stuff. Yep.
Okay, can I see Ordella from here?
Yeah, you can see them, but it's sort of as blind. The snow is still pretty blindy to you, so
right.
Like distance attacks may be disadvantaged.
Right. I feel like a noob. I've suddenly forgotten how to measure on here.
I'll measure for you. Who are you measuring to? Click the little ruler.
Just to Ordella. Oh, okay. Yeah, it just looks different. Okay, yeah, she's within range, so she can't really see or hear me, most likely. But I'm gonna say something to attempt to inspire her as a bonus action.
Okay.
So you have a D6 that you can add to attack rolls, saving throws, or ability checks.
Yay.
And she looks real bad, right?
Ordella's not looking great.
Yeah, I look better than I did, at least.
Okay. So that was technically a bonus action. If something else that I want to do is a bonus action.
So technically the Bardic Inspiration says, and can hear you. But I'm gonna say that she can. Because you could hear her shout from where you were. So if you shout your knock knock joke, you're gonna have to scream it at the top of your lungs.
Yeah, but does she have to hear all of it?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I think just like catching the wind of like help has arrived.
Yeah.
And like a Toot riding in and going, knock knock.
Yeah.
Or something is enough to be inspiring.
No, I think that's what
inspired.
She hears, basically, is just like every other word. It's like cold, winter, fork. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So that would be bonus action. Can I hold my action?
Yes.
Seeing that she looks pretty bad, can I hold healing word until she falls down?
Yeah, you can. You can hold that.
Technically, healing word is a bonus action, so can I do that with my action instead?
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
Okay. That's all I'm doing, and that should be within 60 feet, so that should be fine.
Leonard, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna Ray of Frost again.
Okay. That's a hit. To the nearest one, I assume?
At the nearest one, yeah.
It's on you. All right. It's this Cragcat, and it's going to bite at Ordella. 18 to hit.
Yeah.
Does 8 piercing damage to you.
No.
Leonard, this one that you've Ray of Frosted has not gotten the acid off of it, so go ahead and roll that.
Oh, yeah.
It takes 3. And it's going to claw at you. 16.
That'll do it.
6 slashing damage.
Oh. I'm still up.
Harkus, you're up.
All right. So I have a speed of 40. And what I'm going to do is sort of dash, but not quite dash the entire 80. Actually, if I dash the 80, I can still use my unarmed strike, correct? Because it's a bonus action?
So, yes. Well, as a monk, yes, I think you can.
Because it is a bonus action.
You can definitely spend key points. I don't know if you have key yet.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think you can. I'll let you unarmed strike.
Okay, then I'm going to run up here and unarmed strike that crackhead with the acid damage.
Okay. Just charge up, come charging up and punch the crackhead square in the jaw. That's a hit.
It sounds like you're saying crackhead.
Crag.
And that's just a humorous picture. You know,
that's 100% what I keep hearing too.
Punch that crackhead right in the face.
Not that punching crackheads is funny. Punching crackheads quite more humorous. But the imagery, standing in the snow.
I'd like to take this moment to apologize to the 4 listeners that we have.
No, that's why I said it's not something that should be celebrated. Absolutely, it's a bad thing. It's just what I hear, and the visual is very different than punching 3 snowy cats.
Yeah, these are like mountain lions, basically. They're very large mountain lions. They're known as man-eaters. The preferred flesh is you. Or Della, you're up.
Well, lucky me, because I happen to be like half orc, half elf, so I taste horrible. They don't want me. All right, I'm going to punch. Well, not punch, but I'm gonna slashy slash. My axe.
The dice have not been kind to Ordella.
Wait, I got the +6, was it?
Yeah, you can.
Well, it's a D6.
It's a D6.
D6, yeah.
Roll better than a 4. 4 better. That'll do it.
Oh, will? Yay!
That'll do it. That hits.
All right. Yay. Yay.
Which one were you going after?
One on the left.
What do you say as you kill it?
Die.
Die!
Bad kitty.
Okay. It's the other crag cat's turn. Seeing its compadre killed, it swipes at you with its teeth. Does a 14 hit you?
It does not.
Toot, you're up.
All right, so do I lose that spell slot because she did not go down?
You can either continue to hold that or you can change it. You can do something different.
Okay. I think I will move up, and then I'm going to continue to hold my action until she goes down, because I don't think it's looking good.
Yeah, you don't lose that spell slot.
Yeah, I will go right there and continue to hold my action.
Leonard, you're up.
I guess, since it's worked so well before, I'm just going to keep Ray of Frosting. Cantrips are there for a reason.
That's a stone cold terrible miss. And since you just Ray of Frosted it, it's going to claw at you. 19 to hit.
That'll do it.
10 slashing.
I'm dead.
All right, Leonard drops down. Actually, before that happens, Leonard, roll me your D4 acid damage. Because it never got the acid off of itself.
Okay.
Yeah, the cat is going to claw at you, and as it tries to claw at you, it just sort of like can't lift its paws, as you just hear this continual sizzling happen as it sort of like falls down into the snow. No longer
All right.
Harkus, you're up next.
All right. I'm going to move over to this one and swing the quarterstaff at it first.
Uh, 12 is a miss.
And then I'm going to unarmed strike at it.
That'll hit.
I'm just going to start punching everybody.
You're a better punch man than you are.
Apparently so.
That's a hit. So there you go, 4. This cat has not been damaged. Ordella, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna try slashing great axe again, and failing. Maybe I need to change weapons.
That is damage that it's rolling there.
Oh, sorry.
That's not rolling right. Roll because that is rolling on a d12. No. You just like it'll never hit if you're trying to roll for hit with a d12.
Did it work?
No, that's still not doing. That's still rolling the damage. Have you been doing that? Yeah, you have.
Then I'm clicking the wrong thing then.
Yeah, you've been rolling opposite.
Well, it's like no wonder you haven't hit these last couple times.
Still learning this thing.
If that's a hit.
Yay.
We can take that 11 or whatever.
Okay.
4. We'll take the 11, which you rolled first.
Alrighty.
All right. It's that crag cat's turn, and you just hit it, so it's going to hit you with its teeth.
Ooh.
23.
It sure does.
10 piercing.
Oh, and I'm out cold.
Ordella's down, unconscious, and the cat has its teeth on there. Toot, your spell goes off automatically. And Ordella, you wake up conscious. You black out briefly, and then you come back to the realization that you're still alive, and a cat has its teeth in you.
Mm.
It's got its teeth around you, and Toot, you're up, actually. So
that was my held action.
Yes, you have another action.
Leonard is now down.
Leonard is fine.
No.
Ordella was down. Leonard would have been down, but the cat died before it could hit him.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I will attempt to cast Vicious Mockery on it. And I will... Go ahead.
Wisdom save?
Yes.
Fails?
Fails. Okay. And what you know it, I don't have cat jokes, so we're just gonna go with a general insult, and we're gonna say, "Two wrongs don't make a right." Take your parents, for example.
Ooh. Ooh. Can you give me the damage for Vicious Mockery?
Sure. That's going to be
1.
1.
But he has disadvantage on his next attack roll, which is what matters. Leonard, you're up.
All right, I am a one-trick pony at this point.
Ray of Frosting. That's a miss. Harkus.
All right. Let's go with the quarterstaff. No reason whatsoever. Oh no. So terrible.
That's also a miss.
And then we'll just punch at his face.
I think you need to put the quarterstaff down and just become Punch Man.
Yeah.
Just start punching.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. You're beating on it as it's chewing on Ordella. And Ordella, it would have advantage on this attack because it has you in its mouth, but since it was viciously mocked, it no longer does. It is.
Wow.
Oh well. Nice knowing you.
Yikes.
16 piercing damage, Ordella.
Yeah.
And Ordella slides back into unconsciousness. And you're up, Ordella. Give me that good death save.
All right. How do I?
Oh, don't fail. Don't fail.
How do I do that?
There is a thing on the thing that is death saves. You just click it, I think. Don't fail, Ordella. Don't fail.
No, I clicked.
Where your hit points are?
Yeah.
D&D Beyond.
Yeah, it just brings up failures and successes.
And there's a little die. There's a little picture of a die in the middle.
Oh, in the middle. Okay.
That's a failure.
Okay.
How is it the Crag Cat's turn? He just went. It's Crag Cat's turn. Does a 14 hit you?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Does a 16 hit you?
Yes. Why are you still chewing on me?
You're in its mouth.
I know.
Actually, I don't know that it would. It's being beat to death by Harkus, so I don't know that it would. I don't know that they would do this.
Ever seen a cat before, Jim?
Yeah, all right. I'm going to roll you a luck die, and we're going to see what it does. It chomps down on Melissa.
Oh, well.
With a critical hit, giving her 3 failed death saves.
Oh.
You see Ordella's lifeless body slump over.
Oh, well.
As the light goes out of her elvish, orcish eyes.
That's like dead.
Dead. I'm dead.
Toot, you're up in initiative.
I don't think he's ever seen someone die, so his immediate reaction is bonus action, attempt healing word.
Okay.
Which John knows won't work, but I don't think he does. So I will say, why did the Dalmatian go to the eye doctor? Kept seeing spots.
Ordella does not laugh.
and that's how I know I am a horrible comedian and I have failed. Okay, yeah. So seeing that did not work, that was my bonus action. So I guess with my action, I'm gonna continue to try to viciously mock this thing. And I will say, your brain has 2 parts, left and right. In the left side, there's nothing right. In the right side, there's nothing left.
Now, Vicious Mockery, hold on. Does Vicious Mockery grant it disadvantage on its next attack? Or all of its, like... Because I'm a little bit confused, because how the Crag Cat came up in initiative again, because didn't you viciously mock it the turn before?
I mean, yes, but I think it's, hang on, I just posted a thing.
Because the turn before you viciously mocked it, and it had
the
disadvantage.
Next attack.
Right, so should it not have had disadvantage against Ordella?
I don't think that it would have mattered.
No, it would have, because then it wouldn't have had advantage on that attack. It would have been a 14 instead of a 16, which does not hit. Did you viciously mock it your turn prior to?
I mean, I told it 2 wrongs don't make a right. Take your parents as example.
And it failed
yes.
Vicious Mockery its turn before. So then it has disadvantage on its next attack, and its next attack was to chomp down on Ordella.
Right.
So it has disadvantage on that attack. So Ordella, you're not dead then.
What?
Yeah, you're not dead.
So the 14 did not hit.
14, does a 14 hit you?
No.
Then you're not dead, because it only has advantage on the... So basically it has advantage and disadvantage, and they cancel each other out if it has disadvantage. You're in its mouth, you're unconscious, it is an advantage hit. But since it was viciously mocked, it gets disadvantage on that attack. And since it has disadvantage on the attack, it's just a straight up roll, and its first roll was a 14, not a 16. So it tries to
healing word actually works.
Yes, your healing word actually works.
So Ordella did laugh at my joke, and I'm not a failure.
Your healing word actually works. Roll, and you have 4 hit points left.
Okay.
Leonard, you're up.
Hang on, I have.
I'm no longer doing death saves.
No, you're no longer doing death saves.
And it takes 3 vicious mockery damage. The psychic.
Okay. Oh, no, that's the wrong character sheet. I'm going to move over to it and attack with a melee attack once I figure out what melee weapon I actually have. Wait, can I do... Hang on. Spells. I think that has to be melee. Yep, has to be a melee attack. I'm going to try this just to do something different. I'm going to attack with my mace.
Okay. That's a hit.
All right. And
bring your robot and mace down on it.
I'm also going to cast Booming Blade.
Okay.
If the target moves 5 feet or more before its next turn, it takes 1d8 thunder damage.
So it has to stay still or take damage?
It has to move.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use the rest of my movement. Well, no, there are too many people. It doesn't matter. It's not going to step away. There are 3 people around it.
Yeah, and it's going to get opportunity if you move.
Yeah, never mind.
Harkus, you're up. Ordella, I really thought you were dead there.
Me too. I was trying to think what character I was going to make next.
It's not over yet.
Oh, I finally hit somebody with a quarterstaff.
You hit it. Give me damage. 8.
And I'm going to smack him with my hands.
All right. You hit him hard with your quarterstaff, and then you uppercut him. Hit. And the damage is?
The beyond 20 was being thrown.
6. All right. Describe to me how the cat goes down as you hit it.
I feel like maybe I don't hit it as much as I sort of take my half-orcish brutality and grab sort of an upper jaw and a lower jaw and just rip. After try and bite Ordella in half.
And Ordella, I think you sort of like just lay down on the snow as the cats are down, and Toot and Leonard and Harkus sort of surround you. Just barely catching your breath, like somehow still alive. You're not even certain how.
I curl up in one of the cat's fur to try to stay warm.
And you all are just wrapped in cold. And
I'm definitely skinning these 3 cats.
Flashback to Cadillac Granite Guts and Yatara. Yatara, the lines are pointing towards the center of the tree, and some sort of druidic markings. The tree is unnaturally larger than it should be. You're up there in the top of the tree, Granite Guts, and what are you doing in the top of the tree? You were curious if this is related somehow to Sylvanas, and you're not certain. Tell me about Sylvanas.
Basically, I received a vision the night before I took my vows to join the Paladin Order that I was in a big snowstorm and I almost died, but I found my refuge in a huge tree that was abnormally large. And
really,
so this is the reason why I was very interested in there.
Then I didn't even know this. I didn't remember this about your backstory. But I think then, based on that, I think you were convinced that this is a message from Sylvanas.
Yeah, I definitely. That's exactly what I think.
And as you're convinced,
there's something significant about this place.
Yeah.
And so, I'm just, I guess at this point, so.
How did you take refuge in the dream?
I took refuge in the roots because the roots were huge, and everything around the base of the tree sort of bit into my hands, and and the dream ended with I thought I was dead because the tree actually finally was torn out of the ground by the fury of the windstorm and the snowstorm.
Okay. So are you going down to investigate
and I
the
woke
roots?
up with an acorn in my hand.
So are you going down to investigate the roots?
So yep. And I'm going to see where the lines join up to the base of the tree.
You're going to have to unbury it from the snow a bit.
Yep, I can do that.
Okay. As you do that, you see the roots are absolutely enormous, and the earth is sort of loose at the bottom of the tree, as if you can sort of dig it out underneath the tree.
Okay. Do I need any tools for that, or can I do it with my hand?
If you have tools, you can certainly use them. Or you can do it with your hands.
I have a javelin, pike, and warhammer.
Yeah, probably with like your pike or something like that, you can sort of dig a bit and get underneath it. And I'm not going to make you roll for it or anything.
Oh, okay.
As you're sort of, well, I don't think there's any point. Like, oh, you roll athletics till you get it, you know. As you poke around, the snow and earth sort of collapses in, and there's clearly sort of like little cave kind of passage underneath the tree.
Okay, so I turn around to Yutara and basically say, hey, I'm sure the other people, I'm sure everybody else is fine. This I think is worth exploring. Surely we would have heard something by now if something was wrong.
No, I agree. I'm sure they're back at the cart drinking the mead. So I'm going to follow you.
Yeah, and you climb down underneath it, and you find sort of a shallow, like cave-like area under there with a small, like almost looks like stone altar surrounded by a bunch of roots of the tree. And on top of the altar is there are a couple of little like almost like a stone box or something.
Let's go up to investigate.
Okay. Yeah, there's a stone. Are you opening or trying to open up said boxes?
Sure.
Yeah. You're sort of having to crawl on your hands and knees underneath roots in here. It's really overgrown, but it's clear that there was some sort of like, you're not sure if this is like a worshipful area or if this is like where something has been buried, a value that has been worshipped or something like that. You open up the box, and there inside of it is a small ring.
I have literally no way, I think, to detect if this is a terrible artifact or not. So,
do you pick up the ring and look at it?
I sure do.
As you look at the ring has a small stone on it in the shape of an acorn.
Oh my goodness. I will cherish this forever and ever. This is a sign, I exclaim. And take the ring. Okay.
You putting the ring on or just putting it in your pocket?
You bet your biscuits I'm putting on this ring.
Yeah. You put the ring on, and you don't really notice anything different right now.
Okay.
But it's definitely warmer down here in this underneath this tree. It's really quite warm.
All right. Is there anything else in this area that that we notice?
Roll investigation.
Okay.
You see some more of the sort of like runic kind of markings
that I was catastrophic at deciphering.
Yeah, you've already tried to decipher them.
Yeah.
You could maybe write them down or make copies of them and take them to somebody that could decipher them, but you don't know. You weren't a cleric. You were not a cleric of your order, so.
Yeah, I was not. I'm not. No. So yes, I think I will try writing them on the back of my bedroll.
Okay. You're able to write them down?
Okay.
But that's all you sort of glean from here.
Okay. And then I guess I turn to Yatara and say, hey, look what I got.
I got a ring. I got a ring. I got a ring. Yeah, Yatara, you don't Yatara, you're sort of I guess down there looking around too. You can roll investigation as well. Whoa, okay. Yatara, on the branches of the trees, it's more than just like runic markings. You can tell because you've seen these and you've copied them into your book enough that there are like spells carved into some of the roots. Like this is almost like there are a couple of spells that have been like literally like carved into those roots before.
Do I understand the spells to be able to chant them?
You think maybe you could copy them down and like then figure them out, but clearly they're written by some sort of like ancient caster that's not speaking the same language as you, but like sort of like deciphering Latin. Like maybe you know a little bit of Spanish and you think to yourself, well, if I got a dictionary and if I sat down with some time with this, maybe not under this tree, I might can make sense out of this.
All right, I'm gonna write them down as well.
Okay.
Back of my bedroll.
So just write on your character sheet, spells from tree. And there are at least 3 distinct. You're sort of able to glean from a 23. What are you two doing now? Are you taking refuge in the tree, or are you trying to make your way back to the group? Or to the cart? To the wagon?
So,
you could still see the flickering of the light where Toot lit the wagon up in the distance. It hasn't been an hour yet.
So, I'm going to mention to Yatara, hey, I think it might be good for us to try to join the group. But before we go, and I turn around, and Cadillac is a true believer, we might say.
Roll insight. Roll insight, Cadillac.
Okay.
Then. You with a 16, Cadillac, you think to yourself, man, it is really hard going out there in this blizzard. This is the safest place that I have seen to sort of sit out a blizzard, and my vision had me sit out a blizzard here.
Definitely.
Maybe I should bring people here.
Definitely. Yeah, it's John Hawkins' Cadillac actually kind of had that thought too. Before I go, by the way, though, I take out of my inventory an uncut gem, and I place it in the box and gingerly close the lid, and I go down on one knee for a moment and close my eyes in reverence, and then I get up and I say, okay, let's go find our party.
Do you say a prayer?
Yes, I think I do.
What is your prayer?
Basically, it's a prayer of thanks, and yeah, just basically a prayer of thanks to Sylvanus.
You
keeping on path.
Yeah, you hear and feel in your head and heart, welcome. And then you guys head back towards the cart?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take us back to the party that has slayed the crag cats. Ordella, you're nearly dead. Leonard is not looking great. Harkus, you're probably okay, and Toot, you're okay. What is everybody over here doing? It is blindingly cold now, and Ordella, you find yourself like lacking an awful lot of blood and feeling very, very cold.
I'm
snuggled up with one of the cats.
I'm
You're
going to try and skin one of them pretty quickly to cover her up.
Okay.
Can I assist to try to?
Yes, you sure can. How are you assisting in the skinning? Are you cheerleading or are you?
Well, I've done this a few times now, so I guess I'm like pointing. Okay, you cut there, and this is
okay.
Like
yeah,
I'm
so
attempting to
you're sort of
guide.
you're sort of guiding how to do it through your kinku. Like, no, here, not there, here, not there, here.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Let's see how long it takes you to. Are you trying to skin all three, or are you? How many are you skinning? And then we're going to roll and see how long it takes you to do this.
Well, I'm going to try and do one sort of more quickly, just to.
Okay. Then just roll survival, and we'll see.
And then we'll worry about the other two after
yeah,
that.
Then just roll survival.
Does he have advantage?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
For your aiding, you have advantage. Roll it again.
There we go.
Yeah. It does not take you very long. You're able to skin one of the crag cats and drape it over Ordella. And Ordella, you feel warmer. It smells bad on the inside, but you definitely feel warmer with the cat's like fur draped around you. Although it's still sort of bloody and gut filled, but
I don't care. As long as I'm warm.
You're warmer.
Well, you're also bloody and gut filled, so
yeah, I don't know if it's mine or theirs. Who cares?
You're not sure how much of the blood you see is yours versus the cat's on the ground, but
it's like, are these my organs or the cat's organs?
Toot and Harkus, you know the direction that the cart came from, which was southward.
All right. Do I have the other two furs yet?
Yeah, with a 21 survival, you're able to. It's going to take you probably about, I don't know, 20 minutes to skin the remaining two.
Okay, I'm still wrapped up in my furs from before.
You are. You have a bear skin.
The artificer is kind of inanimate.
He's a robot.
He's a robot.
Yeah. The cold still freezes him up.
Where's the glowing orb of warmth?
He's got it in there. He's got it in his system, so he's staying warm.
Well,
the snow just seems to melt when it touches him.
I'm not so much worried about him anymore as the rest of us just chilling out here in the cold.
Literally.
Yeah, so things are getting really pretty cold now. Okay. So you're trying to.
Yeah, I'm gonna work my way. I'm gonna get the other two.
Okay. You all are you managed to take about 20 minutes and skin the other two. And
then can the robot pick up Ordella or?
Yeah, the robot can carry Ordella.
And then we'll make our way back to the cart and the mead.
Okay, because the robot makes a lot of decisions based on a pseudo random number generator. So the robot is now going to roll a D100 to see how cool the robot thinks a cloak made out of crag cat is.
Okay. How cool?
Pretty freaking cool. Okay.
Pretty cool.
So while right now the robot is focused on survival, his long-term goal is to have a crag cat cloak.
all of you start making your way back towards where Toot has lit the cart ablaze in its glowing light. Yatara, you're able to, you know the direction. You had a great survival roll. You're able to lead Granite Guts back. Since Granite Guts Cadillac had gotten lost on the path, you're able to lead him by the hand back. And Leonard, you're able to basically carry Ordella. And Toot, you're still walking, and Harkus, you're still walking. And you two make it, the four of you make it back to the cart with the goats first. The goats don't look great. As they've been in the snow. In fact, some of them seem to be sort of down and like not moving so much. A couple of them kind of at you, but they don't look very happy to have been in this blizzard. But they haven't moved or tried to run off. And you all arrive together. What do you say, Granite Guts, as Leonard, not Leonard, as I have Leonard on there, as Yatara has led you backwards? And you see the scene of Leonard carrying Ordella and etc.
I say, what happened? What happened to you?
I repeat, and I say, what happened to you? In his voice.
No. Oh no. No, what happened to you?
I feel obligated to repeat this.
So you look terrible. We found a place where we can take shelter. We'll be glad to show you. I'm not sure if the goats will fit.
Yeah, they would fit. Think
Okay,
like that
okay.
scene.
Everybody grab a goat.
Think like that scene in Lord of the Rings where Brian is under the tree. Do you just say that, like, everybody grab a goat, leave the mead?
Okay, so we might have to choose between the goats and the mead.
All right, that's an easy decision for Leonard. He picks up the mead.
Leonard, what's your strength score, Leonard?
Oh, let me see here.
Total
Strength is 8.
Leonard walks over to one of these giant 300-gallon casks of mead and just starts trying to lift it up and just goes.
Thought he was carrying me.
Yeah,
I'll put you down.
Puts you down and tries to carry the mead and just like cannot lift it. Ordella, you are a slight orc.
And tossed aside for mead.
You have been tossed aside for mead.
Ordella lands on the snow, is like.
Well,
as Leonard tries to get the mead.
I'll be happy to try to pull the sleigh, pull the wagon if somebody will help me.
Yeah, you think that with help you could manage it, but you'd have to get the wagon or leave the goats.
Can the goats not help?
Some
That's
of
why
them
we
maybe.
have them.
They've been freezing.
So
They can
Got
walk.
goat sickles.
I'm gonna throw the goat sickles onto the cart next to the mead and help pull.
Okay. Through all of this pulling, you're able to drag the goats and cart full of mead back to where your companion Cadillac found the giant tree. And Cadillac, you show everybody the hole under the tree, and does everybody just sort of climb down in there on Cadillac's word, like, this is the place? Big old tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Everybody climbs under said tree. It's been about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours before the storm finally abates. The snow starts to die down. Everybody can take a short rest.
During this, I will do a song of rest. And I will say during this, I'll say, what's the laziest mountain? Mount Everest. And with Song of Rest, if you are rolling a hit die, everyone that can hear me gets an extra 1d6 hit points. Do I roll that or did they? How does that work?
They roll their hit die and then it doesn't matter. Then they can add an extra d4.
Right, it's a d6, but yes.
Yeah, d6, I'm sorry.
So if you're rolling hit die, you get an extra d6 to whatever you roll.
Okay. Ordella gets 9 hit points back. Everybody has 2 hit die. So Ordella, you can roll another hit die if you want to.
Okay.
And I think you get that for each hit die you roll. The Song of Rest.
Do you?
Or no?
That's awesome.
No, I don't think so.
No, it just says each of the
Just
creatures regains an extra 1d6. Yeah.
It's just once. So you're all able to patch yourselves up a bit. It's starting to get kind of dark, but you think to yourself that you're not terribly far from good mead.
Ordella, how are you looking?
Better. Much better now. I did 2 hit die.
I've got an herbalism kit. Is there a possibility I might be able to make a little bit of a poultice here of some sort out of things I found?
Yeah. Roll me medicine.
Okay.
What'd you get?
That was a 6.
Yeah, unfortunately, underneath this tree. Wait a minute. Interesting. As you're trying to look for herbs, what do you do exactly? Describe.
So basically, I have a little kit of tools, maybe a mortar and a pestle and a few a few swatches of herbs and whatnot that I carried with me on my travels to
and
here.
Are you like looking for herbs?
Yeah, well, yeah, moss
under the tree.
Yeah, basically. Little mushrooms that I find.
Okay.
Maybe a creepy crawly.
Are you saying a prayer to Sylvanus or anything like that?
Yes, I think I will.
What do you say? What do you ask?
I basically say, I guess, I guess, thank you for this. Thank you for these materials. Thank you for this life. And I hope that you see fit to allow me to use this life that I have taken from these roots to help the life of my friend.
You hear a voice say to you, well, if it's healing you need, take these. And you see a couple of the like weeds in the corner of the like cave starting to like shake and wiggle a little bit. And wasn't any voice that you've recognized before, and nobody else hears this. Everybody just sort of hears like the sounds of rustling leaves and things like that.
Well, I know a good wiggleweed when I see one.
Yeah. Run over.
And so I take the wiggleweed.
Yeah, you're able to, with that, mortar up a potion of healing.
Okay. And I give the bowl over to Ordella.
Are you drinking what he has mortared? Kellic has mortared up.
Sure.
Okay, you can add 2d4 plus 2. healing.
Ooh. I don't know if I need that much. Can I undo one of my hit dice?
If you want. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was assuming that Ordella was the most poorly looking of the group.
Ordella nearly got eaten by a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said.
After hit dice, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do I? You said one what?
It's 2d4 plus. Our potion of healing is. I think it's. I'm sorry. It's 1d4 plus 2.
Okay, so 1.
Yeah. No, 2d. I'm sorry. It's 2d4. You're right.
2d4.
Regular healing is 2d4 plus 2.
2d4, so it's 5 plus 6 and 7. Okay.
Granite Guts, what you have found is a ring that allows you to once per day cast Speak with Plants.
Oh, this is awesome.
And you were talking to the tree itself, who told you how to find the proper herbs to heal.
So it's one per day or once per long rest?
Once per long rest, basically. Once per day. Once per sun up, sundown.
Okay.
You can cast the 3rd level, basically druid spell, Speak with Plants. It also allows you to turn difficult terrain caused by plant growth into ordinary terrain, because they'll move out of your way. And plants might be able to perform other tasks for you on your behalf per the GM's discretion. So just tell you how to make a healing potion if you find a magical tree.
Oh man, this is the ring of plant friendship.
It is.
Ghidorah was always fond of animal friendship. Cadillac gets to have plant friendship.
Plant friends.
Excellent.
Yeah, now as long as you don't send plants into a cave full of large creatures that are going to eat them instantly.
Salad. He just made salad.
I'm getting flashbacks of Moira and like shoving mushrooms in people's mouths.
Yeah.
Where do you think she learned it from?
Yeah, no.
This is exactly where Moira, the D&D character that is based on Cadillac in the future, has learned her skills.
I understand so much now.
That's incredible.
Okay. So are you guys going to try to long rest here? The storm has sort of abated, or are you going to try to make your way back to Goodmead before it becomes pitch dark?
I vote for a long rest.
What's warmer, the tree or my cube of warmth?
That's a good question. It's warm under here, but certainly not comfortable.
I'm happy to sit back with the cube of warmth radiating out heat in addition to the tree's heat.
Yeah, but those villagers have already had the wrath of Guh.
Oh, that
How much longer can they take that?
I forgot about that. Yep.
Well, maybe
because we've kind of already taken one rest.
We just wait a little bit longer, and it'll
problem will solve itself.
And
so
they'll be done,
you guys
right?
have all refreshed. The goats have been thawed out. They're only 2 of the goats are dead, but they've been able to thaw. You've been able to thaw the goats out. It's been about 4 hours for the storm to abate. So heading onwards.
Sure, I forgot about the villagers. I can be easily convinced to go back.
All right. You guys mush onwards, and who's leading the pack?
I'll leave.
Who's the leader?
I'll.
All right, Harkus, roll survival.
Yeah, I'm standing up in the front, pulling anyway.
Yeah, roll a survival as you all leave the giant tree. Big money, no whammies, no whammies. That'll do it. All right, with a 16, you're able to lead the party back to the village of Goodmead, towing your goats and cart with the remaining mead. By the time you arrive there, it's dark, nighttime, and some of the homes have lights on in them. The thing that you notice that is the sort of most outstanding to you is that there appears to be smoke coming from the mead hall.
Oh, Doug's wife has been here.
And I'm going to bring you to Goodmead.
Uh-oh.
As it is nighttime and everybody has arrived in Goodmead, you have arrived basically over here, coming out of the woods. The mead hall, actually, you know what? This is Goodmead. Here's the mead hall.
Jeff, Leonard, while you're describing this, has had a flash of insight as he sees that the mead hall is on fire. We are in possession of the last supply of good mead.
Well, the mead hall, Leonard, you don't need to roll perception for this. You see smoke. You don't see like flames licking it, and the building is not falling down.
That is a solvable problem, Jeff.
Are you suggesting burning down the remaining mead halls?
I'm just saying there's a financial case to be made that it could be very profitable if this were the last of mead.
So I like how you suddenly turned to evil.
So are you heading over to the mead hall?
I'm heading over to the mead hall to assess the situation.
And say, oh, look, we have mead for the right price.
It is nighttime, and as you all arrive at the mead hall, you guys are over here. You see some not what looks like terribly fresh, but black smoke sort of wafting out of the open doors from the mead hall. You also see smoke that is drifting out of the open, some of the stable doors from the backside.
In the voice of Doug, I begin yelling the only word I ever heard him say, only he pronounced it multiple different ways. Yagbor, Yagbor. And I'm just yelling it as loud as I can in the voice of Doug.
In the voice of Doug?
Hoping to get her attention.
You hear human sounds screaming, and you hear them going, "Oh God, it's come again! Oh God! Quick, grab the spears!"
Super effective.
It come again! Ready yourself!
Thomas,
ready yourself!
I stop. I don't say anything else, but I stop what I'm doing.
Quick, grab your sword! It's back! And you see poking their head out from the building a man who is carrying what looks like a broom handle with no like spear point attached to it. It's literally got like the push broom end on it. And he sort of is like leaning out cautiously, and he's just like covered in like ash and soot and stuff, and he screams, "Go away! Be gone!"
We have the mead.
Oh, who are you? What's that voice? I heard it. It's come back.
It's our Kinku. Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
And then.
Oh, praise Ilmater. Praise Ilmater.
I would imagine I look back at Toot and he probably tells a joke.
Oh, God. Oh, gods. Thank you, Torm. Thank you, Ilmater. Oh, gods. You're saying it's not here?
No, it's not.
He looks over and he says, It came again. It threw barrels of fire into the mead hall. We just got them put out. It killed Thomas.
Where is it?
It left. It came in the night. Last night, it came in the night. It threw fire barrels into the mead hall, and then it killed Thomas and little Mary Sue. It took little Mary Sue and broke her. And then it disappeared into the woods. We all feared it'll be back again tonight. It hits and it runs. It comes and it goes. Terror.
Then take the mead into the hall.
He says, "You've brought back the mead. Oh, thank God." And he leans back into the building and he says, Rickon, come help. They've brought the mead. And another man sort of wearing cleaning smocks emerges and oh, thank God, thank the gods. The missing mead is returned, but the beast, it's come and killed. He says to you, but Shendar Froth, he's gone to go get help. He's bringing back men. He says he'll put a stop to this.
Where are those men going?
Creature go.
Say what?
Where are those men coming from?
He says, I don't rightly know. He says he knows people. People that could help.
Where can we meet up with them?
He left town yesterday. He said he'd be back in the morrow.
It'll be too late.
The only person that you know here in town is Olivessa, whose house you know where it is. You stayed with Olivessa previously. I'm going to add that all of you, after this march through the blizzard and through the snow, are all taking a level of exhaustion right now. Everybody is level 1 exhausted.
Except for me.
I mean, we could do that long rest now.
Yeah.
We could try.
There are no inns in town. You may remember, the man says, no one's in the mead hall. Everyone has evacuated since the fire barrels were thrown through.
Where is Olivessa?
Are you asking?
I am.
He goes, Olivessa? Well, she was tending to the funeral arrangements for Thomas and for little Mary Sue. They've been laid in the main in the shrine of the Flaming Sword. But at this hour, I assume that she's probably at home by now. The only people here are those of us still trying to clean up the mess and the people working the bees. In fact, while you're here, I haven't played this before, but you can all just hear the very faint sound of buzzing bees in the distance.
Bzz, 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 bzz.
There is audio for it. I'm not going to play that for you because thank me later. I mean, I can.
No, I know what bees sound like.
Well, we are very sorry this has happened to you, and we tried our best to get here as fast as we could after getting the mead, and we took down one of these monsters, but it was not enough, clearly, and it looks like we have a job to finish.
Well, if you're looking for Olivessa, you could probably find her at their home. Do you know where it is?
I remember.
Very good. Well, be safe, and may the gods be with you.
Wait, the goats come with us?
May the gods be with you.
Oh.
Porque no los dos.
He says, what you do with the goat and your time is your own business. I don't want to know about that.
Meh.
Hey, I tell the jokes around here.
Oh,
It was no joke.
well, feel free to use that one. I mean, you're not from Dugan's Hole, are you?
Dugan's what?
Dugan's Hole. Most
No.
people goats in Dugan's Hole. Listen, you don't want to know what goes down in Dugan's Hall.
Apparently, a lot goes down in Dugan's Hall.
Actually, as he says this, everybody roll history real quick. This may make a point.
All right, Leonard is going to elect to fail the history roll because I don't know about Dugan's Hole.
Yatara, you've been around this parts. You know Dugan's Hole is another one of the 10 towns. And you know that it is the town. It is an isolated town. And since you know that, I'm going to put the map on you really quickly as he says, "You're not from Dugan's Hole," and sort of joking about goats. Because Dugan's Hole is over here, sort of isolated away from Goodmead, down the road from Goodmead. One of the most isolated towns on the Redwaters that are now frozen over. And you know with that role that Dugan's Hole is just like a bitter rival of Goodmead. These towns are sort of like Auburn and Alabama. And they consider Dugan's Hole like a bunch of inbred rednecks. And maybe they are a little bit of an insular place. But yeah, that's what you sort of know about that, is he sort of laughs about what you do with goats, and Dugan's Hole is your own business.
Do I know that as well with an 18?
With an 18, yes. You know that too.
Yeah, I'll respond and say, yeah, their family trees don't branch off.
You could say that 4 times and run into all their cousins. And yeah. So yeah, that's what you got there. Are you guys heading over towards Olvesa's house?
I will ask what direction the Verbig went.
He says they don't know. What happened is it came in the night and it threw some sort of flaming barrel of oil. If you sort of ask specifically like what kind of oil, it was some sort of like animal fat, basically, like goat fat or something, some sort of animal fat oil through like the mead hall that was alight, and then it just randomly found some people that were out on the streets and killed a young girl who was about 12 years old, and it killed a man, her father. She was beaten to death and he was speared. Both of them have been laid to rest in the Shrine of the Flaming Sword. And Olvesa was tending to the shrine. He tells you that the other candidate for speaker of the town that Olvesa and her friends don't think is very trustworthy, a man by the name of Shindar Froth, has left town because he knows people to go get help. And he's gonna bring in the cavalry. Cavalry.
I look at the others and say, Olvesa then?
Let's go see what Olvesa's up to.
All right. You guys make your way through the darkened city streets to Olvesa's home. And you find it lit, and she greets you. And you tell her the story, I assume, of the return of the mead. And she welcomes you in and relays the story of what has happened in the night, the last night, and that all the residents fear that the beast will be back again, that it seems to have struck hit and run. But she welcomes you all inside. And I think that we will leave it there for the evening, as everybody is beat up, tired, exhausted. But Olvesa welcomes you into her home again at Goodmead, as you have returned the mead back as they're repairing the mead hall. And the town has a sense of fear over it, as this beast has been striking and has killed a couple people. And good night, everyone.
And if you like what you see, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and slam that bell notification button.
I hope I didn't mess up and Olvesa should have been dead, but I think that the beast should have had disadvantage on that attack because of Vicious Mockery. which would have made that not an advantage strike, which would have not hit. But regardless, that's how we're going to play it. Believe me, I will have no hesitation to kill a character. I just want to make sure that I do it fairly and that I don't like undo an ability that you had that would have prevented that from happening.
I mean, I forgot about it, so kudos to you for bringing it up in the first place.
That's the whole point of Vicious Mockery, is that it gives disadvantage to the thing on its next attack. It doesn't do much damage, but it makes them have disadvantage. Fair. Good night, everybody. I hope everyone had a good time with this one.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes, that was fun. Thank you.
And we'll see you all next week.
All right. Good night.
Good night.